Previously on the Osrynn Tales Live D&D. In the aftermath of fighting the wizard Faith Loquan, our heroes and the half-dragon emissary used the plans they found in Luke's cyborg body parts to destroy the Petrol Arcanum device. Due to some hasty decisions and a few brute force tactics, the machine exploded and destroyed about a third of the wizard's tower. The group took Luke and David to be buried and escorted the still living Faith to the Council of Wizards to be taken into custody and stand trial for her crimes. After a long day of adventuring, the group retired to the Glistening Slipper again to stay at what appeared to be the most normal inn throughout all of Reneus Alinar. But normal it was not. Quickly, our heroes found that the walls and floors would shift and move, separating them from each other and singling them out. Granny Brunhilde and her grandson were made of this rubbery ooze, and Granny was able to envelop Vilmar while he was separate from the group. She stole some of his memories, causing his mind to burn, and when she pulled away from him, instead of her ooze-like body returning to the form of Granny, she was now an exact copy of Vilmar. As the house shifted and kept the group from finding each other, the imposter Vilmar tried to attack Reshi, but Reshi didn't succumb to the mind-draining power of the ooze. After being attacked by Vilmar, Reshi started fighting, and the real Vilmar was also fighting back. And Rowan set the foyer on fire, which started to melt like rubber and burning tires. Tail managed to escape the rubbery haunted house by blasting a hole in the back door with his lightning bolt spell, but the rest of his friends were still trapped inside. Luckily, even through the noxious fumes of the burning rubber, Quothi, Reshi, and Vilmar were able to attack the ooze creature enough that it died, and with its death the illusions of the house subsided. They were standing in the foyer of the house, no burn marks on the walls, and an ankle-deep pool of ooze and rubber filled the hall. And so, as our heroes awaited the outcome of the trial of Faith for her crimes, they took a much-deserved break from adventuring. It is now 4 weeks later. Our heroes have trained new skills, and Faith awaits sentencing. What will Faith's fate be? Will our heroes be rewarded for stopping her? And what future troubles await them? Find out now on episode 33 of the Osrynn Tales Live D&D. Enjoy the show.
We're live. I can't believe you've tricked me into being here this fucking long. I know, feels like it's been 3 years.
It's been like couple weeks. I mean, how long's it been in game time if you ignore our 3-month hiatus?
It's been like 6 days. It feels like it. think this just I remember last Tuesday we stormed that skull palace. It was like last week, right?
Cannot hear now.
We could at first.
Fucking microphones.
You could have it muted, the tab muted too. Here.
I think we can hear you now.
Yeah, so we can hear the Discord. We cannot hear you.
I can hear the stream on the browser.
Yeah,
No, they can't. Oh, there we
yeah,
go.
but we can't hear Jeff.
No,
Yeah,
something
we
in
can
my
hear everybody.
OBS. Something in my OBS got fucked up.
Oh.
Thank you, Decide Good, for telling me that I was muted.
Fuchsham is muted.
Yeah.
We do not want to hear Genie. Thanks, baby.
We'll just server mute.
He is doing it too. It's on the overlay.
We like to joke. Anyway, okay, welcome in. Let's
Well.
redo all of that. Welcome in, episode 33 of Osrynn Tales Live D&D. Tonight is a very special night. Everybody, thank you for showing up. Tonight, the audience has to decide the fate of Faith Loquan. I'll be putting up a Twitch poll here in just a minute. But before we do that, I kind of want to explain to everybody who's here what you guys are going to be voting on. So Faith, she was a wizard who was trying to make a perpetual arcane device, right, to basically fuel her magical experiments and stuff. So she was basically trying to get free magic. And the way she was doing that was by siphoning energy from the outer planes. Which in theory shouldn't really matter. But an emissary of the neutral dragon came and said, "Hey, you're siphoning energy from the neutral dragon god." And the neutral dragon is constantly keeping her brothers, the evil dragon god and the good dragon god, from murdering each other. And if you weaken the neutral dragon goddess too much, she won't be able to prevent them from fighting to the death. And should they fight to the death and evil win, that would be really bad because all of goodness will just be erased from the multiverse. So can you please stop doing this? Can you please stop siphoning energy from the neutral dragon god? And she refused. She just ignored the warning. And when the player group came to visit her and some of their old acquaintances, the emissary showed up again and said, "Hey, lady, I gave you a chance to do this, and you didn't do it, so now I'm gonna do it." And our players helped take her into custody to be dealt with for her what amounts to gross negligence, right? It wasn't what she intended, but it had very dire, or could have resulted in very dire consequences for not just Osrynn, the planet, but for like the entire multiverse, right? Like this 9 hells and Elysium and Valhalla and like all the outer planes and just all across the multiverse could have been really bad. So the options we have here are, for what should Faith's fate be? We have just take her out in the streets and kill her. Just kill her right now because she's too dangerous to be left alive. Imprison her awaiting execution, like we would do kind of in real life. You'll put her on death row. Takes a long time. Kind of put her to death when she's like already old and like at the end of her life. Just simply life in prison. That's also an option. And then the last two options are erase her mind and release her. So just everything that she knows about magic. Take away all of her memories of all of her experiments of being a wizard, take away her ability to cast magic, just blank slate, new, like she would basically retain the ability to understand language and speak. And that's about it. And it just let her go as be a homeless person in the city. And then the last option is simply to forgive and forget. Just be like, hey, you made a whoopsie. Try not to do it again. So those are the 5 options. We're going to start this poll here. It's going to last for 10 minutes. It says content does not meet the guidelines. What does that mean?
Uh-oh. You might have said did you say a bad word?
I don't know. I didn't.
If you said a bad word, you can't make a poll about bad words.
Let's put
Is Rowan
that.
breaking DMCA?
There we go.
That's
It wouldn't. It literally would not let me use the word kill. Kill her now. Was the option? It was not let me do that. So now the option is end her now. Imprisonment awaiting execute, because I literally ran out of characters for execution. Life in prison, mind erase, or just forgive and forget. So you cast your votes. It'll last for 10 minutes while we do some other in-game stuff, and then yeah. Well, once that 10 minutes is up, we'll check the results and see what you're doing to Faith.
I'm a
Do
firm
we get to
believer.
vote?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, you guys can vote. Feel free. Also, I clicked on Steam.
I'm a firm believer that intent does not justify action. So she's on the murder train for me. Well, at least the memory removal train. Nobody else want to vote on that one? I'm just going to be the
It
guy
got really
just
quiet.
throwing it out.
I was enjoying the music. I was like, I thought I
Yeah.
was about to have an epiphany or something.
Yeah,
like
I
like
was
some
enjoying it.
soul-touching moment was about to take place.
I can't hear the music.
I can't hear anything but
You
you
gotta
guys.
have a soul.
Oh.
You can have a soul.
All righty.
Is that the Reaper in your background?
I don't know.
I rest my case.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Let me see if I can...
One of us gonna have to die.
Somebody's dying today, and it doesn't have to be Faith.
Damn, I can't. For whatever reason, music isn't playing this on my camera account. That's lame. Oh well. Anyway, so you guys have been asked to stay in Redeus Alinar. You're kind of, linked to this case. You were, have had dealings with Faith. You helped bring her in. You have more insight to what was actually going on than other people in the area. So you guys have spent your downtime hanging out in the city, doing various things. But one of the things that happens while you guys are hanging out here in Redeus Alinar is there is a small, almost looks like, I guess you would call them an elfling. It looks like an elf, but they're about the size of a halfling. So about as tall as you, Tail, and they walk up to you. They're wearing imagine like a US postal worker, but their hat has like a fuzzy, like a white fur brim around it, and they got like little bells on their shoes, like little, Christmas bells on their shoes. They hand
elf.
you they hand
They
you a
by
letter.
chance make cookies?
He does smell of gingerbread.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
And he hands you a letter. He says, "Are you the kobold Tail? The wizard Tail?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I have a letter for you, sir." He hands you this. He hands you a nicely enveloped letter.
Is it Santa's list? Am I on the naughty list for spaghetti action?
You are. Yep.
Y'all think that's a voice changer, but it's not.
For spaghetti action.
I don't know. Are you gonna open the letter and find out?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's open the letter.
So you hold a marvelously fancy paper envelope. Its wide green and red diagonal stripes are separated by white pinstripe borders, and a curled silver ribbon cascades down the front of the envelope. Affixed to it with a shimmering wine-colored wax seal containing an elegantly embossed letter S, is enwrapped in a wreath. So there's like, so there's like a little note that has your name on it. It says "To Tail," and that is stuck to this envelope with like a wax seal with a letter S in a wreath, like a Christmas wreath. As you open the letter, you hear the slightest jingling of sleigh bells, and a faint whiff of peppermint greets you as you squeeze the envelope to peer inside. You remove a tri-folded sheet of paper, upon which you read, "Season's greetings, Tail. Every year I like to reach out to a few of the children who I feel deserve a little extra special attention. This year, your achievements have caught my attention, and I would like to do something extra special for you, Tail. Please write me back with a short list of your greatest desires, and I shall endeavor to make some of them manifest forthwith. Merry Knockem, son." Signed, Santaxlos, the Knockem Dragon.
Let me process this for a second.
The letter
I
is
just got
signed
a
in a
letter
brilliant...
from the Santa Dragon.
The letter is signed with a brilliant scrawling script and a glittery ruby ink,
What
which
is
as
happening
you
right
read
now?
it, which as you read his signature, strangely invokes the taste of nutmeg and cinnamon.
All I know is that the Reaper's standing behind our DM and enticing Tails to do something for presents.
Look,
I'm worried.
Tail is a little kid, so he's absolutely writing this letter. I just want to understand. Santa Dragon just showed up in this world and has decided to give me a gift. I'm
So-
weirdly into it.
So a little backstory, a little exposition, if you will. There's a lore, a legend in the world of Osrynn that the first dragons were the ones who created the dragonborn race, and as a celebration of the gift of life and the gifts given, not only just being alive, but like resistance to various elements like dragon's breath, all that kind of stuff. The dragonborn and other reptilian cultures that trace their lineage back to dragons, so kobolds, lizard folk, like that kind of stuff, they celebrate a holiday that's similar to Christmas. It's a gift-giving holiday, and there's this legend of a dragon named Santaxlos, and apparently you're getting a letter from the Knockem dragon.
So what he
Okay.
doesn't know is it was me and Jovis that we wrote the letter for him.
Jeff, he wrote the letter around the corner. It's like, go deliver this to him.
Yeah, they just use like reduce person on like an actual elf to like make him look like a Christmas elf. And it was just like, hey, go give this letter to that kid over there.
Well, they punched a regular elf to make him really short. It's like, hey, go do this now.
Yeah, no, I'll write a list. Do I have to say what's on the list?
No, you can give that to me, after a session or whatever. But yeah, this is your first contact, as it were, from Santex Loss.
It's gonna get lizard nip.
You can he does accept being called Santa if Santex Loss is too hard to pronounce.
Yes, the Tail will. Well, Tail's got to purify some of the ooze, so he has a 5-gallon jug of the ooze from our last adventure there. So he's got to purify some of it, and he's
Right.
studying some of it. But after he does such, he will write his letter to Santa.
Very good, very good. And right at the top of the show here as well, I got something for you, Vilmar. This can happen on any given night, so we don't really know when within this period of downtime this happens. But that when it actually happens isn't super important. But it does happen at nighttime. You could be at the temple or at the tavern with your friends or something, but it happens again. Your vision fades to darkness, and you feel yourself melt away. You are no longer Vilmar of the White Raven. You are, well, you don't really know who you are. You feel like you were never given a name, or perhaps your name has been forgotten to time. As you try to grasp some sense of self in the widening darkness, you again feel a tightening around your ankles. Well, not ankles, but ankle? Singular, maybe? Your connection to your new self is growing stronger, and you're feeling less human. But you hear the same female voice as before. Shardor! I know you're out there! Stop hiding and show yourself, coward! I told you, if you kept following me, I would kill you! I'm out! I'm never going back to Rheneas Alinar, and you can tell Don Zarconi that my debt is paid and I'm done! You feel the grip around you tighten with intent, and you feel yourself get pulled with incredible force. If you still had a stomach, it would be in your throat at this moment. You feel yourself sliding through a leathery tube, and then suddenly your vision clears. Your human perceptions reel for a minute as you adjust to your new sense of vision. A full 360-degree panorama surrounds you, like having eyes in the back of your head. You see a young woman with a hood raised over her head, but you notice her eyes are solid silver orbs, and she has a strange symbol on her forehead. A tattoo? No, a birthmark. She stands on the road in the dark, surrounded by swamps and trees. You see shadowy shapes lurking just beyond the light of the fairy lamps marking the path. From the shadows you hear, Amriel, you know that this isn't how things work. We own you. Your monetary debt might be paid, but what about everything else we've done for you since then? That sword you're holding, for example. The man ominously trails off. Amriel replies hastily, This is my family's sword, and you all know it is rightfully mine. I don't care who found it or where. It's where it belongs, and once I find this scabbard, I'll make sure to end you and Don Zarconi's grip on the people of Reneus Alinar. You feel one of her hands let go of you, and you see her pull a small, softly glowing orb out of a slot on a bandolier she wears across her chest. She throws the bead to the ground, and your vision is engulfed by blinding white light. As the light fades, you are back in your own body. Your sense of self returns, and you slowly remember that you are, once again, Vilmar of the White Raven.
Okay.
So that you can see that. Reread it.
So,
if you need to.
well, yeah, definitely for the typing out the names, I have no idea how to spell that.
That's a hell of a lore dump.
Yeah, big one. Okay.
While you process that, let's take a view at the poll. View the results of the poll. It looks like with 43% of the vote, Erase Her Mind
Ooh.
has won. So we will convene now. It is the end of the trial. It's been about a month or so since you brought her in to the Wizards College with the neutral half dragon emissary. And it is the day for the trial to, sentencing and everything. You guys are taken into an opulently designed courtroom. Remember, these are elves that we're talking about. Very, hoity-toity, very fancy creatures. So lots of marble and fancily decorated courtroom. There's a bunch of, benches or pews or whatever you want to call them for people like an audience to gather. And there's a high elf in a powdered wig and a black robe who sits at the judge's throne. I don't know, what do you call the place where the judge sits? But he's got the little wooden gavel and everything. Asks for the jury if they've come to a decision, and they said the foreperson of the jury says they have. They hand the letter to the bailiff, and the bailiff delivers it to the judge, who reads out that the decision has come down to erase Faith's mind, remove her ability to cast magic, and release her out into the wild to live a life however she can eke one out. The courtroom erupts in noise, like everybody, the judge is banging on their gavel, like, order in the courtroom, all that kind of stuff. Faith's trying to, like, break out of, her, like, she's, like, handcuffed to the desk, and she's, like, trying to, like, break out of it, but she can't. She even has been gagged, so she can't speak and, like, use, like, the Misty Step spell, or, things like that. But if there's anything you guys wish to do as characters, just let me know. But you get the sense things are happening, and they're happening now. Like, there's guards, they're unlocking the shackles from the desk in front of her. They're starting to lead her outside of the courtroom, which, there's like a big public square there. You can see there's like some official looking mages that are, flipping through spell books, and like apprentices are there. Like, they've got like chests full of like herbs and crystals and various spell components. It seems to you that this is happening, and it's happening now. They're not, waiting for, her to file an appeal or anything like that. The
Tail's
crowd.
gonna find one of the officials who's gonna do this like memory removal,
Mhm.
and ask if they know this spell Modify Memory, I believe it's called.
Yes.
And as opposed to just sending her out in the wild to fend for herself, to give her a job, like try and convince them to give her a basic job, like a a tavern girl who just busses tables or something,
Okay.
so that
You wanna
she's
run-
guaranteed to make some kind of life.
Yeah, I wanted to give her some gold or so. Like I wanted to take her to a tavern and like put her up for a week or something. Like I was thinking, I don't want her just thrown out in the woods either.
Can I make
Fair.
her my servant girl?
I mean,
I'm
Maybe.
not opposed to it. I just didn't see that one coming.
Let me see the gross
Well,
happier face.
I am supposed to, I am of noble birth, so I'm supposed to have a servant.
servants. Oh, what the indignity of an elf being a servant to a human in this world. Yeah, Tail, if you want to try and sway that, you can roll a persuasion check.
Shit. I was not expecting to have to be the front man on this one. All right.
You engaged. you're the one who wants to do it. You get to make the roll, buddy.
Oof.
That is
Grand
a
old 6.
The person getting stuff together, who you've marked as the person who's gonna be like officiating and like actually casting the magic. He's like yeah. I'm sorry, kid. I don't have time right now. I'm very busy. Just come talk to me later. I'll try to help you then. And he like him and his like couple apprentices, they kind of like move away from you, like moving out of the court and like out of the courthouse itself and like into the public square.
Well, I tried.
Well, when they finish it, can I request that she be released to us so that we can get her some boarding somewhere or something, or at least me? That's how I feel about it. I don't know if you guys support that idea, but I would like to do that.
Tail's fine with it.
On my dime. I don't mind spending it on my dime either.
Rowan doesn't care one way or another.
Okay,
In all honesty, like it's just like
and that could be off.
She did what she did. I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do here.
That can be off
Fair.
session. Also, we don't have to do that on session. I know that
You know that like
kinda off story.
basically at this point, unless you like want to like specifically like find a person to like request this of, you know that right now what's gonna happen is they're gonna do the ritual in the public square, unshackle her, and everyone's gonna disperse. And whatever she does,
Okay.
whatever happens. So like you could either talk to someone about it now, or you could just wait until it's over and then approach her yourself. Because they like
Okay.
the whole thing is like they're just gonna erase her ability to use magic and the knowledge of ever having been a wizard. And unfortunately for her, with her like background, like she comes from a family of wizards, that basically just means erasing everything except her like ability to speak and understand language. Like
Right.
she has to like all of her family is gonna be like erased from her mind and all that kind of stuff. Blank slate, except she's half dissolved in acid. So they take her out of the public square. There's lots of cheering and some people are booing. Like there's the public is not settled on like what they think about this. But the ritual goes through. It takes a little bit, a couple, like about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. But you see them like, shackling her to, these like two upright posts, and basically like she's like arms out, shackled, legs out, shackled so that she can't like move. And she's struggling, like she doesn't want this to happen. Like she's definitely like trying to like, not let it happen, but there's only so much that a elf wizard with a negative in strength can do to break out of steel manacles, right? The ritual goes through, and the people who really wanted it to happen are cheering. Everybody else starts to grumble and the crowd starts to disperse, and they unlock her from the posts, and she kind of falls to her knees and like looks up at the city and is honestly, this new version of Faith is kind of afraid. Just like she doesn't really know where she is or really who she is. She doesn't know pretty much anything at this point. She's just kind of sitting there in the middle of this public square, cowering, and the wizards, the officials kind of like look at her and with pity almost, but don't say anything and just pack up their stuff and leave. So as the crowd is dispersing, you just see a lone lady elf, face disfigured, left shoulder and arm disfigured from acid, and she's just left there to fend for herself.
I feel really bad about this figure.
I know I'm about to cry. Like this makes me feel so bad.
It's a dark world out there, people. It's a dark world.
I was just trying to stop her, but I guess I did kind of melt half of her fucking head off.
Yep.
Maybe I shouldn't have used acid damage.
Well, I'm gonna. Should this be an off-stream thing, or do we need to do this now, like during the session,
For what?
to take her like and get her some boarding for like a couple weeks or whatever?
We can do that right now.
Okay, I would like to do that. I want to find like a place that, I don't know the area like off the top of my head, but somewhere that she could go and like stay for a couple weeks. I have that, card debit thing, so
I've got an
we can use
idea.
that. Shoot.
We could hire her for the one of the workers at the guild in Asari.
Oh,
If she
that's
wants
a
to
great
work
idea.
in there, then I mean,
Is everyone
I
else
can
okay with
definitely
that?
tell Rowan has had
He's
enough of this
apprehensive.
city and
Yeah.
would like to not be in it anymore. So going to Asari seems like a great idea.
Yeah. I like that.
You approach her and she kind of like retreats into herself a little bit, like kind of like she doesn't know who you are. You're just like a random dragon looking person that approaches her, and she's kind of like winces a little bit. She doesn't know like what's going on. And you start to like offer her some help, and the first thing she does is she's like, "Who am I? What's going on? Like, what is this?"
I'm just gonna tell her, your name is Abby, and we found you and we want to help you. Seems like you need some help. We can offer you a job at our guild, just doing something basic. You can earn an honest wage and have some boarding there, if you would like that.
She agrees after a little bit more pretty, emotionally like depressing discussion, like, what is a job? What is a guild? Like she's like, it's like dealing with like a serious amnesiac. Like she understands like what you're talking about, but some of the concepts like are lost on her. She's like, oh, okay, so like a guild's like an organization of people, like she understands that she's gonna is gonna have to like eat and stuff, and so you like have to explain to her like, hey, people get jobs and they do tasks for other people, and then those other people give them money, and then you can use that money to buy food. Right?
Yeah, right.
And so she she agrees.
Okay, good.
But there's definitely like, like you see in like all the TV shows, right? Like there's definitely like that strong immediate sort of like, I feel like there's more to this story. Like I can't remember who I am. Kind of like an amnesiac sort of thing, right? Like
Yeah. So I want to kind
definitely-
of divulge into that with her though.
Yeah, it's
Like I want to just let her know, like, hey, you not to interrupt you, but like for me on my side, I'd be like, hey, we saw you were in an accident, so you can't remember anything, but we do know that your name is Abby and we're going to help you out. Or, like something to kind of convince her that
Right.
it's okay.
That that calms her down a little bit. But there definitely might be some stuff like with her, in the future. I'll be doing rolls
Oh, for
and stuff
sure. Yeah.
off stream, like every in-game week I'll make a roll, see if she remembers anything from her past life
Oh,
kind of thing.
shit.
Because she's definitely like any amnesiac, be like, okay, so I trust you. Like, my name's Abby. I was like in an accident, but like, who was I? Like, what did I do? Like, what are all these?
Right.
Like, she's asking like all of these questions. Of course, I'm not gonna put you on the spot right now to have to like come up with like an entire fake identity for her. But even with
She was a wonderful cook, just phenomenal.
Wonderful cook.
even when people like who go through that like are told like who they are, they still want to like get the memories back. Like
Right.
she can feel there's something inside of her that's not there, and she wants to like regain that. So
But let's say that she did, though. This was a question I was wondering while the trial was going on. If she did get her ability to remember things back, could she cast magic ever again, or that's gone forever?
well, a wizard gets their power through very specific word choices, like pronunciation of words, hand gestures, and material components. So as long as her like intelligence to understand the mechanics of a spell remains intact, she could relearn to magic. It's all tied
That's
to
scary
her
to me.
memory
Yeah.
and her like intelligence.
Yeah, that scares me. Okay.
I mean, you guys, if you're that worried about it, like, could always quest for some sort of intelligence diminishing device and just make her stupid as shit so that she
Terrible.
can't actually understand magic.
Oh, I can just take my warhammer and hit her across the back of the head.
I pull out my dagger and I stab her.
I was thinking about the same thing, Jeannie.
Table
Like,
talk, or did you really
legit?
just stab her?
No.
Okay, I was like, holy shit.
I can
I'm like
just
helping her
imagine
and you just kill her.
Roll attack?
Roll.
Roll for... Oh, no.
No.
I can just imagine Quothe. I gotta make her dumber, okay, and just
I
bash her head
honestly,
into a
I
pillar.
voted- in the head,
voted
yeah.
to put her ass in jail. I could really give two fucks about her at this point. I
Okay.
really don't care.
That's fair. It really is fair. I just, like, I guess the mom in me is like, I can't let her just sit there in the street. But I get it.
All
Yeah,
the weird
same.
shit she did, like she knew exactly what she was doing with the Dragon Realm stuff.
I agree.
She fucked David's head up. She had Luke in a whole mess of nonsense. She didn't have to put the fucking instructions for the thing in Luke's goddamn armor.
I just feel like if
She
it's
could have
like,
she could have put that in a book on a shelf or something. She didn't
But-
have to put it in. You
Yeah,
like,
understand what I'm
point.
saying? Like,
but Jeannie,
That's a really
like,
good point.
think about
she's
what if it was
really
like,
fucked up, y'all.
what if it was like a bad, I'm doing air quotes. What if it was like a bad dog and like, I don't want to put it down. I just want to help it get some therapy. You know what I'm
But
saying? Like, I don't want to
I
But she's
said
not a
put it in.
dog.
Then that's why I said put her in jail.
put her in jail.
I'm not
Yeah,
killing
damn it.
her.
Well, I feel bad. I don't know. I'm so split on this one.
Vilmar doesn't care.
D&D.
That's her
Moral
preserved.
conundrums.
Don't have a mom in your D&D group, guys.
Let her mop shit up in the guild hall, and we can go about doing other things.
Let's
Please.
do that. Let's do it. Okay.
So speaking of Luke, just to make this session even more depressing, as we discussed, was it last session or maybe the session before? The Wizards Guild was keeping his body preserved and stuff, pending the results of the trial. Trial is over. They no longer, need access to his body in order to like cast Speak with Dead to like, use him as a witness or anything like that. So that within like the next couple of days, there'll be a small funeral service for Luke. You're not invited. This seems like an odd word to use for a funeral. But you're informed that services are going to be happening. you know, like he does have a family in the city, you know, so they'll obviously be there, and like there will be people that care about him around when it happens. But you don't expect there to be like giant crowds or anything like that. It's probably just more of just like maybe a couple of the students from the school that were like his classmates, his family, a few of the teachers might show up, you know, a human cleric of some sort to oversee the proceedings. And David's fate is up to you guys. I believe you are still in possession of his body. So if there's anything that you guys want to do with that stuff, let me know. Otherwise, it sounds like you guys are gonna get out of Renea Salinar and head back to Asari.
Well,
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, before we do that, I want to do based on this vision. I want to, like, I don't know. I take it before we leave or something. Basically, tell the group that since the temple, you know, I've been having visions. The last vision I had dealt with Renea Salazar. I know Rowan is from or been in this town and stuff. If he's ever heard the name Don Zarcone, Coney.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Yes, you have, Rowan. You definitely have. And I think, Jeannie, I think you know why Rowan has.
And then also, you know, get Tail involved with maybe searching the name and also the Amriel. Basically, go over the vision that you read out to us with the group and get their help. And
I think everyone should have. It should be under your character journals in the notes and visions. I think everyone should be able to do that stuff. So since Vilmar is telling you guys that, if you need to reference it as well.
Will they be playing McLaughlin Sarah at Luke's funeral? I was just wondering.
I will remember you.
They're playing Laughin' McSarah.
And then the slideshow of his life has a
Yep.
big cheese wheel like hitting him in the face.
Yeah, I forgot you threw cheese at him.
Yep.
Oh man, I did hit him with the cheese, didn't I?
should we go to the
Yeah.
funeral, like bury a slice of cheese with him or something?
Yeah.
A real nice aged cheddar.
So it sounds like you guys go to the funeral. Like it plays, the wheel of cheese, the Quothe just lifting up the unconscious kid's body and using his hand as a key.
Oh.
So many good memories.
Genie blowing him up. The family's just like staring daggers at your group. Eventually someone comes over and says, can you guys like move along? Thank you for coming. You're upsetting the family. Can you please leave? Kind of get yourselves kicked out of a funeral.
Get the fuck out.
So,
but yeah. Rowan, you do 100% know the name Don Zarcone.
I do?
Yeah. And you should know why. As per the backstory information you told me about Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan.
Should I speak up? Should I say why?
You don't have to. It's up to you, man.
All right. So the reason guys, I may or may not always be in disguises when we're here because I may or may not owe this dude a lot of money. And I've chosen not to give it back to him, even though I'm pretty sure I could pay him back at this point. He can go himself.
What is he? Is he, Villamor will start asking Rowan this, what is he? Is he head of something? Is he one man group?
So
3 goblins in a trench coat.
I don't know 100% about all of his dealings, but he is a very, very prominent venue owner in the city. You take that as you will. Usually, those guys tend to have some side hustles, if you know what I'm saying. And I eventually got tired of being talked to like an asshole, and I just stopped showing up to shows at his main club.
Well, it seems that this Emriel in my vision had a dealing with him. He may have owned family's sword that we went looking for in the temple. And as it goes with this scabbard that you gave me when we first met.
He it does not surprise me that he's being shitty to somebody else.
Also,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say in the vision also she vowed to just maybe kill him. He has some type of grip on the people here in ASL.
Well, I like that idea. Do you think we could find her? Do you
Is her name
remember
Kelly?
anything about?
Give
Do you
me
remember
a-
anything about the location?
Jeannie, give me just a flat, just a deep,
D20.
yeah. Or if you're trained in insight, you could always do that too. Trained in insight, you could add your insight. But 13's actually good enough. You actually recognize the name Amriel as well. She did a bunch of stuff for Don Zarconi. But a lot of it was sort of in the more of the adventuring side of things. You're not exactly sure what her skill set is. But you do remember she working security at some of the clubs, and then going out of the city to like do stuff for him outside of the city. And you actually do remember her having like a pretty fancy looking sword, now that like the name and the connection is all like starting to come together. Like she has like this pretty fancy sword. And do you think that it might even fit in the scabbard that Jobus, that Vilmar has?
It might be. Now that I think about it, it might be the sword that goes into the scabbard that you have, that you got for me, that I had on me forever, that I bought from a store and then
But
wandered around with.
Yeah, and that's how it led us to gain those riches from that vault, that lovely vault.
And turned you into flashlight head.
But he also once Rowan says this, he'll say also in the vision sound like maybe there was a Shardor. Does that name sound familiar? Sound like maybe he was tracking Amriel? Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yeah,
Rowan?
I don't reckon.
Rowan,
I don't recognize
you
that
actually-
name, huh?
You might not recognize that name. But you know that there's like a bunch of high level like enforcers and stuff like.
Damn, I be knowing a lot of stuff that I don't know.
It's part of D&D,
Yeah.
man. Sometimes the DM knows some things your character knows that you don't know. I couldn't tell you this stuff before the session because I didn't know if Vilmar was going to keep it all a secret from you guys. But you do know that Don Zarconi's like enforcers go by like code names. So like the wolf, the bear, the griffin, that kind of thing.
Is this the elf mafia?
It isn't not the elf mafia.
So
Leave the
Like
sword
Tony
at the
Blue Eyes?
cannoli.
It's
So,
100%. It's
Rowan-
100% the elf mafia.
yeah, Rowan would 100% say, yeah, this is kind of the.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, you
It
don't
just-
know. You think Shardor is like an actual name, like that Amriel would like know this guy personally enough to like actually know his name. But he could be like any of like the enforcers. But if he's working for Don Zarconi and hunting her down, he's probably like closer to the inner circle than you ever were.
So basically, guys, what I guess I can tell you guys, I don't think I've ever shared the story, but I got really fed up one day and I said, fuck it. And I went drinking and I was just like, I'm not showing up for work tonight. I didn't feel like going to Zarconi's main club. I was supposed to perform there that night. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. He sent some guys to come get me. And I may have beat the shit out of them.
That's a twist.
I didn't realize I could do the things that I can do. And while they were beating the shit out of me, I may have like busted their asses with some cantrips. And it really that whole thing did not go well. And that's kind of why I don't feel comfortable being here now. But it looks like it might be unavoidable.
Well,
We
if
can
this
take-
if this Don, what was Zarconi's evil man,
Don Julio.
Don Julio,
Ton.
I don't know what his name was.
Don
Zarcone.
Zarcone
Don
is
Zarcone.
evil.
All I can think is leave the sword, take the cannoli.
That's a good one.
He's an asshole, and he's a very powerful man, Reneus. He's not a real big front facing guy. We're not gonna be, I don't imagine we're gonna be able to just like pop by his house and say hello. I don't know where we can find him.
You could
He has some
disguise
spots he
yourself as
goes
him.
to.
Do you
Mr.
know
Bowen?
like any of his operations and stuff? Because if you, my friend, want to take him down, then in my quest to find my family sword, I will more than willing to help you. If this is also relieve.
I mean, I do know about the club that I used to work at. The main club that I would usually perform at. He would show up there regularly. He wasn't there all the time, but I really don't want to go to that club.
As a permanent,
I really don't want to go to that club.
As a permanently reserved.
That's what I'm
table in the
saying, though.
VIP room.
You have that awesome suit. Disguise yourself as him, and maybe some of the henchmen will come around, and you can like, finagle your way around it.
Don had a penchant for knowing when I was just doing funny stuff with disguises and stuff. He was really good at sniffing that out.
But
Granted, this suit
Rescue
is a
is
little
right.
more advanced than any other time he's never seen anything like this before, but
Yeah, this is like
He's-
literal magic versus like putting some makeup on in a wig.
he's very
Well, I thought he had that
deceptive.
special suit though. Like he could like make himself whoever he wants to be.
Well, he could change his outfit to be.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like, Rowan now has access to like actual magical disguise stuff. and
Exactly.
When
Yeah.
he was before he was working like before he was like a big bard who like gave into his magic and stuff like. The stuff that he's talking about right now amounts to like putting on some clown makeup and like. putting,
Okay,
like,
all right,
Jack.
fine, guys, fine.
No, I'm not saying you
Fine.
have to. I'm not saying you have to.
Let's go
Fuck.
to the club.
Is one of the
Oh.
henchmen named Vinny? Please tell me one of the henchmen is named Vinny.
One of the
There's like
henchmen is
6
named Vinny.
Vinnies. They're all assholes. That's why I
There's
There's
left.
4 Vinnies.
Could have a Vinny.
There's a
I
Vinny.
may have killed one of the Vinnies.
No, you never kill a Vinny.
There's
Um,
at least 3 Vinnies.
There's
Three Vinnies.
Don't
there's
forget about the poly. There's always polys too.
Hey, what about the
There's-
Vince too? There was
Mickey
a
Blue
Vince.
Eyes.
there's a Vinny, there's a Vito, there's a Roman, and there's a Gabe. So there's some.
Oh yes.
They're all assholes.
I
Was,
can't
uh,
confirm.
Fun.
There was
fun,
one guy named Josh though. He was he was totally fine. I don't.
Josh.
Just
Yeah, just Josh. I don't know anything else about him. He was always very pleasant. But everybody else is a nightmare. Was a nightmare to work with.
fun
Well, let's
fun
find the
behind the
Josh.
scenes thing there. Gabe was the bassist in my high school band, and Vito, Vinny, and Roman were his brothers. That's right.
Oh, are you
Actual
serious?
people I
That's
know.
Funny.
Actual people I know.
love this.
Yeah.
Actually, my son's name is Vincent, so we call him Vinny, but that's why I brought up Vinny. But yeah.
Vinny.
Vinny.
So as you guys are like discussing this and heading back from the funeral, after getting like kicked out there, you return to whatever place you're staying at now that you do not want to be at Granny's house. Even though Granny is seemingly back to normal, like there was just like
Nope.
an Oblex
Nope.
that fucking took over her establishment.
Mm-mm.
So you head back
Got the
to
funniest looking in wherever that is.
yeah. I'm assuming you guys head back to Pollock's Pole, obviously. Is the
No.
place? No, not that one.
Quothe.
Was it the Slathering Goat? Is that where you wanted to go? The one that has the demonic goat
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
as a
No,
mascot?
I don't want a demonic goat
Yes.
anywhere near
Yes,
me.
that sounds great.
You want to go to? Okay.
This-
wow,
We're gonna
here
go to
we
the
go.
Look,
place
guys.
Look,
we-
scariest. It's not really the scariest.
Look, the
Uh,
shittiest one is gonna be the most chill, safest one. All right.
That's what you.
So you
who's
guys
our
head
DM,
back.
though?
You guys.
I would like to vote we go visit Guy Lamborghini and have a plate of his fries in what was it, Flavortown? Is that he?
Flavatown. Yeah.
Flavor Town, yeah.
So you guys have been staying at Flavatown?
I'm with
Yeah.
Judy. Slathering goat.
Fuck. Okay, let's go to the demon goat place, please.
All right. I think
Demon
Because
I
that
think
sounds like fun and
majority
safe.
majority has it. You guys head back to the Slathering Goat where you've been staying for about a week or so now. You know, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, however long you've been staying there. But you're heading back after the getting kicked out of Luke's funeral. Talk about all this stuff, starting to put pieces together. You know, talking about maybe Rowan's got to go. You know, back to the big club, which. Well, we need a name for, so if anybody wants to suggest a name for that in chat, or Jeannie, if you want to come up with a name for the main club, go ahead. But you head back to the Slathering Goat, kind of to collect yourself. Rowan, as you go back to your room, you see there's like the bed looks kind of lumpy and maybe a little wet. There's like
Ew.
something under the covers of your bed.
Quothe.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they.
Whoa, man. Yeah. What you doing?
I
What
never
you do,
needed
Rowan?
to have that mental image, guys. Thanks.
I'm gonna use my mage hand to pull the
As you
um,
pull the covers back from the bed, you see the head of the demon goat severed and in your bed.
Wow.
Someone's sending you a message, Rowan.
No. Guys, I
I'm
think
gonna
they know
use
I'm back in
prestidigitation
town.
to clean up the blood.
I cannot confirm or deny that it has anything to do with the fact that you might have had to give a statement as Rowan during the trial of Faith Laquan. May or may not have gotten around town. May or may not have found where you're sleeping. Can't confirm that. Say. That's totally
So is this
what
like
happened.
the Father God?
Do we all know
Coming
this?
in
Or
here?
just
The
Rowan
Father
know?
God. The Father.
The father, the father
I
guy.
don't know if we
Switch
need to
everything
reverse
backward.
that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good one to reverse. I feel bad now.
So yeah, the Father God knows
Clerics
where you
everywhere
are,
scream in pain.
I'm sorry.
right?
Does Rowan tell us about all this, or is he's just the one that he's the only one that sees this at the moment, right?
Yeah. Like I'm assuming you guys you got enough money that you can all have separate rooms. But yeah, so Rowan in your room, that poor little goat. Oh, it's a pretty chill goat too. Like you're not wrong. This was a pretty chill place. Like that goat, like yeah, he had some demon blood in him, and he had like 6 horns in his head and sometimes if the patrons, fed him too much beer, he'd belch fire.
He was
But-
probably super sweet though,
well,
wasn't he?
yeah, he just want, just wanted to like munch on, like
He just wanted
trash and
scritches.
stuff, and
He just wanted trash and scritches.
Yeah.
And they murdered. Look what they've done to my boy.
yeah, like
Oh,
his name was Balthazar as well.
Oh man. So I'm gonna screech like a girl. I see
Well, Vilmar will hear this and run if he hears it.
He runs to my room.
Catch-
Oh wait, it wasn't you.
Catch Genie.
Oh, you're okay, Rishi.
Yeah, Reshi's fine.
I think we all know where
Um,
it came from. We're gonna run to Rowan's room.
Yeah, I just run a red.
You guys,
Everybody gets to pop up. You're gonna see me. I'm gonna see the
yeah, like
I'm gonna
Rowan,
see,
like you're in your room, like you scream and you like turn to head back out of the room, and then just like one by one, starting with Tail's head, like near the bottom, it's just like pop, 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 like all the four heads just like pop out like from behind the door frame. Like, what's going on? And you
I'm
guys,
sad.
you all see the head of Balthazar, the demon goat, in Rowan's bed.
Okay. Should we can we investigate his room? Like, see if there's any clues besides the head in the bed?
Yeah, you guys
A
can.
note or something?
If multiple people are doing it, you guys can just decide on someone to roll with advantage.
Who has the? I mean, I'll roll, and then who has the best advantage or investigation?
I'm a negative
I'm
one.
really, really good at investigating things.
Okay, so I'll roll. I have
Research
a
and
0.
investigation's
My
my jam.
investigation's terrible, so
Mine's +6.
Yeah, I got a 1, guys. So that's gonna help you.
Are we just we're individually rolling this one, right?
I said if you're multiple people are doing it, you can just elect someone to roll with advantage.
Well, like let's
Then we
let's do a
tail.
Sand.
Sand, roll with advantage, please.
The 18. You you do find a note hidden away. And I don't know what it is about my damaged psyche that always seems to want to make things worse and worse and worse. But simultaneously, as you hear the owner of the tavern start kind of shouting a little louder than he was before, like, "Hey Bally, dinner time, Bally. Hey Bally, where are you?" Like trying to find his goat.
Of course.
Simultaneously as that is happening, Tail, you find a rolled up piece of parchment in the goat's mouth. And it just says, you unscroll it. It's written in common. And it just says, meeting time, Rowan. You know where and when.
okay, guys, we've got to go to the Raven Knight Social Club.
Well, you do. The rest of us don't.
Damn it!
I'll be there.
I can go with him. I'll go with him, but like Jeannie can maybe look like
Just immediately like, no, you gotta go. I don't.
Have a good night. I'll be there.
I can be like his body, pretend to be his bodyguard, or hired knight or something like that. To help protect him.
Vinny.
I'll be his Vinny.
Hiring out paladins now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vilmar has stake in this because he wants that goddamn sword.
Right.
Vilmar's new class is rented in.
Rented in.
So I'm going with you guys, obviously, but
Well, I also did. I think
Oh,
tell Rowan that I will protect him and stuff like that too.
But if Tail goes, and I tell Tail not to do anything stupid, he's got to back off.
What do you guys
Grab him by
assume that
the
I'm gonna
tail.
get super aggressive?
Grab by his little tail and pull him back, and that's gonna be okay.
He was just gonna throw a
Why
bunch
do you
of
think
spaghetti.
I'm the one who's gonna get aggressive? Says the guy who melted a wizard's face.
You have moments where you fucking
Okay,
Stomp
so
in there, and it's like, no.
parenting wasn't great. Tail has a couple of anger issues. It's okay. Tail wants to go, but not for any good reason. Mostly because he wants to see if he can get some not exactly legal books from this shady
oh
dude.
my god.
There we go. There we go. We got a book deal going down.
Well,
I like
Vilmore
how
asked,
I love Dale's so consumed by books that he imagines a mobster is dealing in illegal literature.
And his books.
"He's a well-read crime boss."
He's gonna be so disappointed when he goes to this club and there's not a single book in sight.
Yeah, the only books that are there are used for like crushing up like drugs, just like smashing rocks.
This
of
is the
book.
only book they've got. It's the
There's,
bartender's guide.
Well, to get
There's
back,
Wordplay and Stussler.
that and
to
like
get back on,
that and like a Bible, like an elven Bible.
Oh,
It's like the only things that are there.
to get on track, Vilmore wants to ask Rowan, like, when does he want to go? When's a good time to go? Kind of like, what's he feeling to make most confident?
I don't want to wait too long because they'll probably just show up here and make a big mess. Honestly,
And do you want to go in as disguise as yourself, or
they're gonna know.
Not to like
But you have
sway your
magic now.
decision or anything, but like you guys aren't beholden to stay in Renee's Alinar anymore.
this is
Just run
true. We
away.
could leave. But we're trying to find this book, though, so it's kind of like we have to.
well,
I'm
it's
also kind of tired of the hiding shtick. And to be honest with you,
We're running out of chefs to name yourself after.
yeah, I'm running out of chefs to name myself after, guys. No, I think we might be able to come to some kind of terms or something.
Have you been Flobby Bay yet?
I've
I was
not been
wondering.
Flobby Bay.
Oh,
Flobby
God.
Bay.
Sorry, I
Yeah, guys, I
that
think
one
we
just
should do
popped
this.
in my
We're
head.
gonna go face them.
Or at least I am.
I liked it.
Sounds really good.
I'll go myself if I need to, but I think I'm
New
going.
York.
will
We'll
go
here. How about this? You guys can take a couple of minutes to decide exactly who is going to go with Rowan, and we will reconvene at the Raven Knights Social Club. Is that what you called it?
Yeah, Raven Knight
We'll
Social Club.
Reconvene at the Raven Knight Social Club when we get back. Stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna take a quick little break because I gotta pee real bad, and we should be back. Welcome back, everybody. We're live, episode 33 again, second half of the show. You guys were deciding who who was gonna go with Rowan to the Raven Knight Social Club. Have you made that decision? Is everybody going, or some people not going?
We're all going.
We're going.
Tail's absolutely going. He's looking for the illegal literature that probably doesn't actually exist, but he doesn't know that.
It's not illegal. It's just censored.
Yeah,
It's
just-
age appropriate.
Yeah, he's looking for that lizard porn, is what you're saying?
oh, babe, man, just all those hot cloaca pics.
Lizzie House, something like that.
So you guys head across town to the social club that's in a more, I don't want to say, like, oddly enough, the the slathering goat was in a more fancy part of town than this club was. Like
Nice.
you know, this club's like, it's a pretty nice club, but like it's in like a lower rent district, you know, so old Don Zarconi doesn't have to pay as much taxes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys get to the club, and you have two options. You can use the front door, or you can use the employee entrance in the back.
It's up to you, man.
I will follow Rowan's lead.
We're gonna go in through the back.
As you enter,
There's no reason. There's no reason to go through the front.
Before you get into that, I don't know if this will maybe ease the DM's wrath on us, but can can Rowan I don't know, maybe talk about Vilmar will ask Rowan this what does you remember of the club and its layout and how many people are in there and enforcers and just kind of get so we're not walking in there so blindly.
Guys,
so we're prepped a little bit.
If he's here, guys, he runs pretty deep. Probably think it wouldn't surprise me. 6 to 8 people.
Are you going in disguised, or are you just going in as
I'm
yourself?
going in as me. They know I'm here. It's just going to be a
Okay.
bigger fuss if I'm going with the disguise.
So can
on.
we all agree to kind of surround him and protect him if someone wants to grab him, or are we just going to let him get taken and then we have to fight? I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Well, guys, I'm significantly stronger than I was the last time when I
This is
ran
true.
away. I'm
Well,
not.
that's what-
I'm not.
DM takes notes.
That's what I
I'm
want to
not
ask.
so
Oh,
much.
really?
I'm not. I just don't want to.
Taking notes.
Do you want to fight first, or fight, or avoid fighting, or you want to?
Let's try to avoid the fight. I'd rather not
Just
fight if
talk.
we don't have to. Let's see what he
Okay.
has to say. He might want some money. I'm not too keen on just giving him all my money, but I want to see what's gonna happen.
All right.
So you decide that you're gonna enter through the employee entrance. You get up to the door. It's one of those doors that has the small rectangular window that you can slide the little door back from. Rowan, do you still remember the knock?
It's 3 short knocks and then 2 long knocks
And one ham-fisted knock.
and one. Yeah, you slam the shit out of the door on the last one.
So you do you do what you remember the coded knock being, and you hear from inside the door, "That was last month's knock." And then you see the window kind of slide open a little bit, and you can see one guy's eyeball. He's like, "Oh," then snaps closed again, and the door opens.
There we go.
Recognize, they know who you are, right? They're
Yeah.
expecting you. The door opens up. You see Goliath, who because I don't know why Chad chose to be only 6'5" as a Goliath. This Goliath towers over Quothe. You've been thinking oh, Quothe's a really tall guy. He's 6'5", 6'7", somewhere around there. This Goliath's 8 feet tall. He's 8 feet tall, super muscly. He's wearing a black suit with a black turtleneck underneath it and a gold chain, necklace. And you can see he's got a gold kind of very intense clockwork watch. So it's a gold watch, you can see in the face all the gears and stuff underneath the hands. He's got a couple of rings on his hand, on each.
Zandak, you're looking pretty sharp there, buddy. How you been?
Rorid here. Can't complain. The boss is gonna be real happy to see you.
Yeah, I know. I know. Can you let him know we're here?
He says, "Yeah, of course. He like kind of motions you guys in. He closes the door behind you. You guys have entered in, basically like into the kitchen of this club, right? There's a lot, lots of like cooks running around. You can hear like the ambience of a kitchen, with like the steam and like frying stuff on like the stove. Kind of like lots of knives all around, probably not stored that safely, easily within reach of children. But kids probably shouldn't be here. But he leads you in through the kitchen, and kind of like into the back part of the main club proper. You see it's a pretty pumping club. I wish I could play music, but DMCA stuff would fucking get us. But
There it is.
yeah. So it's that kind of it's that kind of club, huh? I was thinking more of like a lady in a nightgown, like a night dress, like fancy sequined dress, like singing on on the stage. Yep, exactly. Yeah, the more of that kind of club. But you're not really noticed by the crowd or anything like that as you're brought in here. Like I said, you come into like the back side of the club and like taken quickly up a set of nearby stairs. You're like 4 or 5 stairs up to like a raised area. The bouncer, like door man, like removes pulls back the velvet rope for you guys. And you're led into like the VIP area where Don Zarconi is sitting in his private booth off in the corner. It's one of those like rounded corner booths, like where the whole booth is more of like a circle kind of thing. And he's sitting right in the middle. There's 2 real other burly Goliath standing there. Again, they're like 7.5, 8 feet tall. Just like the door guy. But Don Zarconi himself is an elf. He's got he's like looks like a pretty old elf too. Like you can see he's starting to show some wrinkles, like a little bit of crow's feet. He's got silver hair. He's smoking he's kind of fat too for an elf. Like, he's got the dad bod going, which is strange for an elf, which they're usually very live guys, but he's got a little paunch to him. He's smoking a giant cigar. And
It's
as
like
you
a
guys,
silver deer instead of a silver fox.
yeah. So you bring you're like brought before him, kind of like looks you up and down, Rowan. What is are you in the sequined version of the glamour suit? Like what are you wearing?
God, I hope it's sequin.
Just like gold sequin crop top, gold sequin pants, platform
Crop
You can't
shoes.
show up like that.
I'm in the normal attire.
The, like,
I'm mildly
the white
disappointed, but I
shirt with the red
understand.
collar. He looks you up and down and says, "So, the prodigal son returns. Says, we've been looking for you for a long time, Rowan.
Hey, Don.
Very long time."
How's it going, Don?
Says,
How are you doing?
"I've been better, Mr. Rowan. I think there's a debt that we're gonna need to have repaid. Rowan, I'm gonna need you to roll at your leisure. Either acrobatics or athletics, as one of the big guys tries to grab your wrist of your
He's just
right
supposed to give you the kiss of death.
Is this a
of your
saving
right
throw?
hand.
Oh,
This
he
is
got it. He got it.
This is a grapple check. Here. Acrobatics. All right.
He
He
also gets
reaches for your hand and you quickly like pull your hand away. He is going to does a 16 hit your AC?
It does.
He does. So you like pull your hand away. He punches you in the nose. Kind of
Damn
knocks
it.
you off balance. He's gonna grab your wrist anyway and slams your right hand down on the table in front of him, and he's holding you with his left hand. Your right hand's on the table. He pulls out a pair of wire cutters. He's holding in his
We're
right
just
hand.
watching this.
I'm enjoying the show. I don't know about you.
I'm not
Oh my
enjoying this.
God.
would a +2 make any difference to his saving throw?
It was a grapple check. And then
I mean, I hit a
then I attacked
24
him.
on that.
We're
This
just
is
watching this
different.
happen.
Oh,
Okay.
it's okay. He's not making a saving throw then.
There's
Okay,
no
I thought he was
saving
making.
throw. No.
Oh, okay.
Can you
I thought-
give me
an
back
ability
control of
check.
my character?
What do you mean?
On the
Uh,
map, he just wants to move his character.
No,
on the
no,
map.
I can't do anything with my character sheet. It's not even there.
Can't confirm that's true. I just saw it.
I got it fixed.
Wait, there it is.
I had to click
Wait.
edit and then exit for some reason.
Well, if
Say
this
it.
guy attacked Rowan,
Okay.
But don't wait. Hold on. I know you got to do something, but I don't know. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm scared, y'all.
well, I mean, this guy just blatantly attacked Rowan, then I'm gonna punch the shit out of him or attack him too.
Before you do that, Tail would
So-
like to try and assist here in the least violent way he knows how.
I've already thrown my sword.
Okay, yeah.
No, hold on, guys. I can talk.
can't-
I
Hold
can,
on. Hold on.
You
Hold
can't
on.
take that back. I've already done it.
Quothe,
No, guys, hold on.
Quothe, that didn't, for whatever reason, that didn't roll the D8, so giving a roll of the D8 so we know what happens with Wild Surge.
Don't wild surge, goddamn it! Just wait. Wait.
I mean, things are happening, man.
I know. Hold on. Whoa. Don.
How
Let's talk
about
about
this?
this
How
before we do anything we're gonna regret.
How about we do this? Everybody roll for initiative.
Fuck.
Wow.
But can Genie not talk them down right now? Like in them. Okay, his hand's getting grabbed. Can he not say, "Guys, hold on"?
That's what I wanted to do, and then we did a lot of talking there, so I couldn't.
I mean,
I was trying to be respectful of that.
Yeah, I was just I wasn't gonna cast anything. I was just gonna speak up. That's it.
it sounds to me like as he gets punched, Vilmar and Quothe are reacting in that moment.
Regardless
so
of the
before
okay.
before
Can I-
Rowan can
Okay.
say anything.
Well, I want to actually. I totally forgot that he didn't want to attack first, so I would.
Yeah,
I
you
want,
said just
So
wanna
I
correct
mean,
him.
that's why I think we need a roll for initiative because we already had someone say they want to attack the bodyguard, and we have someone else rolling for their rage. So I think the fairest way to go about this is to roll initiative. If Rowan beats the initiative, Tail got pretty good on her initiative. Maybe one of them can talk you down before you actually do the thing.
It won't let me do it.
Just drag your own token onto the map then if it can't use it. It's already there.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can just add
Puppy dog.
your character.
I tried adding it, but I think I got the syntax wrong.
Okay, now I can.
good judgy.
That's not judge. No.
You just
Judge Fudge.
roll it.
Chiefs
Just like-
beef.
I told you guys not to fight.
I'm actually taking that to heart. I'm trying not to fight, actually.
I am too. No, same.
I just rolled twice so I could get my character on the turn order and adjusted to my first roll. So that's why you wondering.
Genie, can you put your can you type your number in on the next to your character there on the turn order? You should be able to edit your number. I don't know why it's not letting.
Can I have my
Ooh, I see
second
the
number?
problem.
You rolled a 14.15.
Second time I rolled a 18.
I think the only person in front of you is me.
I think.
Which is
and
good.
then-
That's good news.
And then Quothe. See if I can. Oh, I know I could.
I just barely outrolled Vilmar.
What?
Like,
Point
like yeah, .02.
Just gotta. He got that
Like the
better.
boats right. Well,
Got that better
votes.
dex, baby.
Did I roll?
Did the
Mitch?
token work now? I have huge lag. Every time I click something,
Yeah.
there's like 10 seconds before it does something.
Yeah, that worked. Need to get better internet.
we have good internet. It's being a dick right now.
Well, I am splitting it between 2 people to do this.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's-
5.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I got a bunch of kids on the internet too.
You need that 300 gigabyte up and down.
Is that what they call it
Isn't
these
that-
days?
Is my initiative rolling advantage? I can tell by the understanding of the formula.
No, so the way the initiative order works in this is it rolls your flat initiative order, and then it'll put your dexterity score next to it in case you have a tie event,
Oh
so you
yeah,
can go with
no,
whoever had the higher.
it does look like you're rolling the. No, it looks like it's rolling. Wait. Yeah, it does look like because when you like hover over the number, it says 1d20, 1d20, keep best 1 plus 1.
Okay. And it
I really
should,
hope you're.
because because my shield gives me a roll of initiative advantage.
Yeah, so
Okay, I
you're
just
I
wanna
hope
rolling
your
really good.
cat's not close, by the way.
All right. So it looks like Tail. What were you going? So here's where the initiative starts. Guy tries to grab Genie, he moves away, gets punched in the face and grabbed anyway. Tail, what do you do? In that moment, what are you doing?
Mr. Don, I would appreciate if we didn't get violent with this. My friend here, he kind of he needs his fingers, and I would like them to stay attached. That's it. That's all he has. I was just gonna talk to the guy.
Roll a persuasion check.
Jeez.
Oh fuck, this is gonna fail terribly.
I love it when you try and talk to people. A 12. He says, I don't know who is it. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong voice. I don't know who let a kid in here, but Rowan's fingers and whether or not they stay attached to his body, it's gonna be up to him. Rowan, it's your turn.
Well, then, if it's up to me, then I'm gonna keep my hands and fingers. We need to let's
Problem solved.
yeah, there we go. Take your man's mitts off me. We can talk about this.
As you say that, the guy like who's holding your hand like looks at the Don like kind of does a real subtle nod to him, and he with his thumb he flips the safety off the wire cutters and they kind of like spring open, like ready for action. He says, "That's not what I mean there, Mr. Rowan. What I mean is there are debts that need to be paid. Now you can, with compounded interest over the last half a year or so, could give me my 100,000 platinum that you owe me."
Shit.
What? Were
I
you doing
could-
that good at the club? Shit.
I could
That's
take.
a hell of a fucking interest rate.
Yeah,
take
yeah.
that.
Rowan made a bad deal. It was like 100% interest, like per week.
100.
And
Yes,
it's
I
and
was-
it's
I was-
compound.
I was
It's
I was burning it hard from both ends,
Yeah,
guys.
It's
Jesus.
compound interest. So like yeah, it doubles and then it's basically exponential, right? This doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles every week.
Terrible
says,
deal. He's look.
I
I'm
could-
I'm a bard, not a mathematician.
Or I could take one of your fingers,
Genie's new class.
and for every finger I take, I'll reduce it by 20,000 platinum. Or
At least it's only one hand.
you could do a special job for me. there is a certain someone with a certain item that I would like returned to me. Person could be returned alive or dead. I'm not too worried about that. The question to you right now is, are you willing to hear the offer? Or should I have Vito here start snipping?
Quick second, table talk here. I have a quick question for Vilmar. Do you have a spell that knows how to put the genie back in the bottle?
Put the genie back in the bottle.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because if it gets to my turn, brother, you're going to need it.
Oh fuck! Don't do you fucking
Clothe is not a great negotiator. He knows murder very
No,
well.
it's
Like,
hoping that my turn was
like
beforehand.
calm you. Like, do I have anything to calm you down?
Yes.
Brother, I rolled a 1, and we're 2 initiative orders away from that thing popping.
Oh, God.
What is one?
That's
the best one.
necrotic damage to everyone within 30 feet of him, and he gets temporary
Oh,
HP.
he gets temporary HP thing.
Don't you do that? You
It's too late. It's rolled.
You
The
could
dice is
re-roll. It
across the
wasn't
table,
in-
brother. It's
was not
done.
even in.
It is his choice. He
Any-
chooses who takes the damage.
Okay,
you
all
not-
right.
Wait,
Hold on.
Can you put Chad to sleep?
Hold on. He just asked me a question. I need to answer.
The things that happen in this.
He asked me a question I need to answer. How about this? You take your hands off me. We'll talk about this deal, and my guys don't tear the club up, because things are about to. I can tell you, my big buddy over there, with the glowy eyes, is about to get real testy.
So, it sounds like you're willing to hear him out.
I am, but it's kind of halfway, like, kind of a threat too. Like, this is gonna get really not fun for everybody if he doesn't want to, like, take his hands off me.
He just says he like turns to Vito with a nod. He says, "Keep the snippers ready." But as he nods at him, he lets you go. Lets your wrist go.
Okay.
Like, he's still standing there, and every once in a while, throughout the rest of the conversation, he like snip, kind of like to put a period at the end. Punctuate a thought of the dawn. That's gonna take us. So it seems like people are. Rowan says he's willing to go, but I don't know about Quothe and Vilmar yet. So let's finish out this one turn here on initiative and see where we end up. Vilmar, what are you doing here?
Well, since we went to the turn order, then listening to this, I had already started to draw my sword and stuff. And as Rowan was talking, I will hold my action for an attack.
Gotcha. You got do the little, like, what do they do in, like, an anime or whatever, where you like pop the sword out a little bit with your thumb, so you can like draw it even faster. You're like, ready. Quothe, it's your turn, my friend. What are you doing, Quothe?
Who let him in here?
This is the real fun one. This is gonna be the one that decides some shit, Chad. So what are we doing, baby? What are we doing?
So my Wild Soul table has changed. For those of you that were aware of the previous version, I've updated it to match the D&D 5e wiki. Since it's kind of turned into a homebrew now, because I don't think it's not mainstream, right?
It's Unearthed Arcana. It's not yet mainstream.
It's like playtest material.
Okay, well, I've updated with the wiki, so there was a lot of important changes. There were some buffs and nerfs, like this current one that I just rolled the 1. It used to do necrotic, 1d6 necrotic, I believe, to everyone within 30 feet, and whatever the roll was, they take damage, I gain temporary HP. Now, I target someone, and then the rolls are different. I think it's 1d12 plus my level,
Mhm.
temporary HP, roughly.
you
So it's not
target-
as party damaging as it was previously.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to defer to Genie since he has decided not to let this get out of hand for the moment. I'm going to use Bolster Magic on Vilmar. And so for 10 minutes, Vilmar can roll a d3 whenever making an attack roll or an ability check and add that number rolled to the d20 roll. So I guess if he misses the AC hit, he can roll a 1d3 to possibly still make the check, or if he just wants to add straight bonus after he's hit the AC check.
Yep.
Okay.
Holy crap, that's powerful. You can give people spell slots back with it.
Yes, so I can roll a 1d3 and give you up to 3 spell slots if you're missing
Up to
3.
3. Holy crap.
Yeah, well, now you give him that. What that basically means is like you could restore 3 level 1 spells or 1 level
Or 1
3
level
spell.
3. That's
Yeah.
still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the first time like that mechanic has popped up in our game, so I want to make sure everybody's clear. It's
Well,
not like 3 level 3
yeah.
spells. It's like 3 spell points, and every spell level is same number of points as that spell level.
Yeah, but
Still
even if it
wicked
was just
smart.
level 1s, it's still very strong to give back spell slots. It's
Oh
an
yeah,
instant
yeah.
thing.
I mean, there is
So-
a daily spell limit for a reason.
I want to use
You're gonna use bolstering magic on Vilmar and give him a
Yes.
plus D3. That's so weird. Why is it a D3 and not a D?
Yeah. that would've been
But a
helpful.
plus D3 to attack rolls and ability checks.
Does giving a wizard a level 4 spell slot at will would break the game?
Okay, so I don't know if that's considered an action or a bonus
Well, they
action.
could just
you
do
know?
like 1d4 minus 1, minimum 1 for that.
Would that be considered an action?
It says you harness your magic as an action. You touch 1 creature, so
Okay.
yes, it would be an action.
Okay, now lingering magic, is that a bonus or an action? I gotta check that out.
I don't know.
Yep, I don't know either. So let's take a look here. It's an action.
Reshi, is there anything you want to
Okay,
do,
so I'll just hold. Yep.
or we just want to like go back to conversation mode?
We want to go back to conversation, but I'm gonna hold my breath weapon
Okay.
to freeze these guys just in case. But I'm just gonna hold that.
All right. If we get back into combat, we'll have to re-roll initiatives. I'll close that down. Like Helquoth, they gave himself 9,000. Looking at my little bubble on my DM screen.
Oh yeah, it doesn't actually show my thing though, but his power's over 9,000.
So you guys are invited to stand in front of the table as you already are. I say that because you understand the implication is he is not inviting you to sit at his table. Like you must stand before him as he sits there, like a king or whatever in his own mind.
Tail would like to last for exception so he can see what's going on at the table. Otherwise, the table
Yeah.
is above his visual level.
The one of the bodyguards, the guy who was as he's like, so this happens like all real very quickly. What was it? Did you say Zartan? Is that what you named the doorman or something? He just
Yeah.
Zartan.
Did you just pick him up?
Yeah, Zartan just picks you up, Tail, and then puts you
He'll
on
just
Quoth.
like T-put.
He
Well,
like
oh, I
puts you
thought-
on Quothe's shoulders.
I was hoping he was just gonna hold him up like Baby Yoda. He's just gonna, his hands just like T-post out, and he's just holding him.
Yeah, like just right under the armpit, so his arms are forced out.
Yeah. He's just standing there holding.
That's funnier. That's what we're doing. That's funnier. Yeah.
This is very undignified.
The bodyguard is just
Yeah.
holding him.
Like, you're just like, I can't see, and the bodyguard just picks you up by your armpits and just holds you there.
Zoltar's not a bad dude. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Zoltar, good man. Oh, he's a gentle giant. But so the Don Zarconi continues. He says, "All right, it's glad to see that you have gained some modicum of wisdom in your, shall we say, hiatus from the club. Now, many years ago, a rather interesting artifact entered my possession. A fanciful sword, quite powerful. Could use fire magics. Someone were to say the keyword, it would wreath the sword in flames. I had an agent who worked for me, who goes by the name of Amriel. She took an interest in the sword, and for a while, I viewed her as almost a daughter. It was a foolish choice of mine. She's recently decided to stab the family in the back and make off with this very important item of mine. I've sent some people, including the Night Wolf, after her, but they have so far been unsuccessful. I have extended this invitation to you, Rowan, to be here tonight because we have heard of your recent, shall we say, exploits. Various disguises of chefs around town, various times. I hear that you had something to do with the goblin and demons uprising over in the Black Reach. And, more recently, you even averted the doom of the multiverse for that crazy wizard in her tower outside of town. So I know that you have come into possession of a certain set of skills that I think could be useful. We could call our deal even, balance the books, and you can be free to do whatever you want. If you bring me Amriel and the sword, you'll keep your hand and your debt will be cleared.
So if he loses his hand, then we're fine. Like, could he do stuff without his hand?
Which hand is it?
The left hand.
He's threatening your
This is tabletop.
dominant
Tabletop.
hand. Yeah, you know he's threatening Rowan's dominant hand. I just assume that he's right-handed. That's probably
Let me ask him.
bad form on my
Don,
part.
do you have an idea where she's at?
He says, well, I know that she went through a sorry few months ago. And the last I heard, before losing contact with Nightwolf, was that she was heading north through the swamps. So if you guys look at the map on screen here, the whole area north of Asari with like these like squiggly horizontal lines and the kind of curvy vertical lines, that's like the mark of this, like on this map. This is like
Swamp,
the
marshes.
swamp, yeah. That's like supposed to be like water with like reeds coming out of it, right? So he probably is traveling along this road, maybe not on the road. Although Vilmar, you in your vision, she was on a path lit by fairy light, and that's just the name that they give to like there's like little lamps with like glowing orbs in them. They're not actually fairies, but they call them fairy lights.
Mhm.
And you guys have been in the swamp before. And some parts like closer to towns will have the light, like the fairy lights. Um, I don't know if you guys remember the map where we were actually fighting in a swamp, but some like you know that it's like this particular swamp, like north of Asari. There's like sometimes the path is like wooden board slats, you know, just like kind of floating in the muck and the mud, you know. So she was like in somewhere north of Asari's. You don't know where. I mean that the swamp literally goes like the whole way to the edge of the map to the north. So but you could estimate she went through Asari a couple months ago. You're not sure how long she stayed there. But a person by themselves walking is probably traveling at most 20 miles a day. And she's also traveling through a swamp, so maybe a little less than that. You know, say 2 months traveling, 15 miles a day, 28 days a month. You could do the math, right? 56 times 15, whatever that is. Probably how far away north she is. Let's see.
Guys, I say we go meet up with her and go get that sword for Don.
That's 840, by the way.
So she's
840.
yeah, she's probably somewhere up here near this ziggurat thing. Give or take, you know. Given you're not exactly sure how how long she's traveling every day, how many days she's traveling, like she might take, a day off here and there. You never know. But that ziggurat's about
Can
800 miles north of
we take like
Sorry.
are there any portals we can take that could maybe
No, not
like
really.
cut her off?
Well, we could try
well,
going from Raven's Blood Hollow back.
Yeah. I mean, Raven's Blood is still going to be if you cut through the swamp. You would go straight like that if you were able to find a way to like cut straight across. This is a huge river, right? Like you're not going to be able to like ford it or swim across that river, but like yeah, in a straight line if you could get like an airship or something, it would be about 800 miles from Raven's Blood to the ziggurat as well.
Don, do you have a means of helping us maybe get up there a little quicker so we can try to cut her off, expedite this whole process, and get you the sword faster? I need some resources here if we're gonna do this.
Hmm.
Just a sec. And I don't know if this is third party or going you can't be used anymore in the story, but in the vision and stuff, it talks about and I would try to relate this during when we were talking about it that
Yeah.
the shard or the character possibly that's what I would call them, who was yelling out about how no matter her debt is paid, they still own her. So I want to just kind of like I don't know how to do this. Be like to confirm that even though we get the sword for Dawn, that he still doesn't own Rowan, even though Rowan's debt is paid. In other words, you'll still be under the thumb of him. Done the task, but like
Are
double
we
cross.
table talking?
Yeah, table talking here. Because in the vision, it
Um,
talks about owning, like the, you know,
All I can
am-
say to that is, I mean, if you're just reminding Jeannie about that part, that's fine. All I can say to that is everybody's contract is different.
all right, so here's the thing, guys. Yeah, see, I don't want to say this here because I think it's not in the spirit of what's going. Like, I don't think it's good in the spirit of the game. So I'm not gonna say anything here. I'm gonna keep working on to like towards see if Don, and once we get out of here we
So
can
yeah,
talk.
when you ask him for more like stuff, like he says, Rowan, I've helped you so many times in the past, gotten you out of sticky situations, paid for where you've lived, gave you a job, let you open a tab in many of my establishments, legal and otherwise. And then you turned and ran away from the family. My aid to you here is letting you keep your hand so you can bring me Amriel.
Oh, come on, Don.
I also have it on
You
good authority that you are sitting on pretty substantial sum of gold. And I know a little birdie has told me that you might be receiving a care package soon as well.
but gold's not platinum, Don. And if you want
Every-
this sword, you'll help
Every
us.
10 gold is platinum.
Well, it's not. Well, I don't have 100,000 platinum. So, look, dude. Do you want us to get this, Don? If you want us to get the sword, man, I absolutely want to get you the sword. But you got to give us a hand here, or neither one of us are gonna get what we want, which is me to keep my hand and you to get your cool sword. Don, I want you to have your cool sword, Don.
I am literally giving you your own hand right now, Rowan.
Well, what if you gave me another hand in getting some transportation up there?
He says, all right. I can give you another hand. He nods at Vito.
God.
That one's gonna be a 19 to hit. Vito punches you in the face again. That is
Just got punched in the face again. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
You're just gonna take that punch to the face.
Yeah, once we get
Says-
out of here, guys, we'll talk.
Tail
We'll
at
talk
this
more-
point is insisting to be put down.
Once we get out of here, guys, we'll talk.
Zoltar will put you down, Tail.
Oh God.
He
I
says,
told that. I said I was
that-
holding an action.
yeah, if you want to spring that action, just let me know, baby cakes. Otherwise, the Dawn will continue. He says, that's the deal, Rowan. Take it or leave it.
That's the deal, bud. We'll Don will take it. We'll take that deal. Thank you. I appreciate it, Don. Thank you.
He says, DM inspiration redemption for Rowan.
Thank you. Thank you, DK.
He says, thank you for making this as painless and as easy as possible, Rowan. I know you've grown in talent. It seems you've grown in personality as well. Kind of gives you like a note, like a respectful nod. Kind of acknowledging the fact that you're maybe not as much of a reckless person in the past. He offers you guys drinks for the night. Just put it on Rowan's tab. And
Wow.
if you guys want to hang out at the club and have a few drinks, listen to this hot. So there's like there's this lady, right? There's this elven singer. She's really, really shapely. She's got long red wavy hair.
Rabbit Jessica.
Big red lipstick. In a tight, very tight red sequined
Ravage.
strapless dress, singing some like jazz music on the stage. But yeah, you guys can hang out, have some drinks if you want. If not, if you want to do anything else in the club, let me know. Otherwise, we can move on to the next little scene here.
Vilmar should just leave the club as
Leave as
possible.
quickly as possible.
Tail wants to leave
Seems easy.
quickly because he's already debating the logistics of burning the place down, which means it's time for him to leave.
God, he's so destructive. He's so destructive. Don't understand, but okay. You guys leave. You guys leave. You head back to the Slathering Goat. Rowan, when you get back to your room, you find that your bed has been remade and the goat head has been removed somewhere. The owner looks like he's been crying a lot recently, but he's like bloodshot eyes and kind of a puffy face. Looks like he hasn't been crying, for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, but like it looks like he figured out what was happening. When you guys come in though, he makes no mention of it. Like there is definitely like a tense air in the room. He does not mention anything that happened. He offers you some drinks or some food or whatever. But as he's like offering you same stuff that you normally would get at a tavern and / inn, he says that there is a package for the group. He says he didn't know whose room to put it in, so he put it into Tails' room. Because it was a really big package. And Tails the smallest person, so he figured he wouldn't need as much room as everybody else. He said, but there is a package for your group that arrived, and it is in Tails' room.
That's heightest, and I find it very offensive.
He shrugs.
Is it phallic shaped?
The package? No, it's just.
Well, you said the package.
It's just a big box. It's just a big box of stuff.
When can I talk to the group about? When can I talk to the group about my plan?
Whenever.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we've been looking for this damn sword this whole time. And Don basically just told us where it's at. I say we go meet up. We go find Homecheck. And we convince her to help us. In return for the sword.
Do you think she's actually going to give it up?
I think she will. Honestly, I think
For
she
her
will.
life, yeah.
For her life and so couple of birds with this one stone here. I'm no longer in debt. Vilmar gets his sword. She's free of her life debt from Don. I think it's a win-win-win for all of us, and Don can go himself.
Well,
Agreed.
you see, there's a minor problem there, is the Dawn is expecting us to return with the sword for which he wants to keep.
Have you heard how badass that sword's supposed to be? We'll kill him with the sword.
He also wants her. He wants you to bring her and the sword.
Well, she can come with us, and she can help us fight them.
I have a feeling that
he did say alive or dead, but he definitely wants her.
Well,
But he didn't give him a time frame, so it's like, it's up in the air.
So all we got to do is we got to get up there, and we've got to convince her that will help her off the Don in exchange for the sword for Vilmar.
Well, it might be easier with her if we can find her, because in my vision, she states that the sword is her family's sword. So we may be related.
I didn't even think about that, but that's 110% probably true. So that makes this even more convenient. Guys, we've got to do this. This is how we've got to
Yep.
do this.
As long as the
I will
sword
also
remains
say
with my
this.
family,
Vilmar, I don't know how much experience you have with the Azamar people. But they are descendants of celestial beings, most commonly angels. And Rowan, you would know this. I forgot to mention it earlier. But that marking on her forehead, the silvery eyes and the marking on her forehead, and Rowan can confirm she is an Azamar.
Guys, this is I think this is the play.
as long as Vilmar's is totally fine, as long as the sword can come back to the family, and if we need to, he's okay with going in and killing Don.
Yep.
I mean, Don's a bad guy, guys.
And that's why he's fine with it. To one, relieve Rowan of his, make sure that there's no like double crossing. Rowan's not under the thumb anymore, and with Amriel, and to get rid of this bad thing, because also in the vision it says that this guy's not good for the city. So there's another
Yeah,
thing that
he's
he-
a
Are you guys-
mobster. He's a mobster.
Are you guys good with this?
Yeah, I'm down.
You
I'm down with
obviously see why I didn't want to say this in front of it.
Tail's only in it for the books. He's just disappointed he
only
didn't
in
get
it
to
for
look
the
at the illegal books while we were there.
Buddy, if look, once the Don's
Specifically
taken care of,
doesn't
you
ask
will
about
have
it to keep the dream alive. I like it.
look, little buddy, look, you'll have access to all the Don's books because he won't need them once this whole thing is said and done.
Are you omitting the we're going to kill him, we're done, then you can look at his books? Is that omitted from the conversation with Tail?
Sure.
Sure.
Tail has no idea. Tail's just in it for the books. Yeah, he's along for the ride. He's like, cool, free books.
You get free books, buddy. When this is all said and done, buddy, you're gonna get free books.
Hell, when all this is said and done, we'll write our own book.
How's Reshi and K Money with this plan?
I said I'm fine with it. Can you hear me?
No, we didn't.
The sooner we get into a fight, the better.
Yeah, I'm good.
Quote's about murder. That's his whole plan.
Basically, yeah.
He heard murder and he's like, dibs.
All right, well, let's set out then.
Hey, who doesn't
Let's
like
go.
a little bit of murder? All right. So you guys, like I said, you still have a package.
I think it would be faster.
You gotta check that package though.
Yeah, we should do that thing. Do you think it would be faster to come from Raven's Blood Hollow? Because we think she's somewhere about where that ziggurat is on the map right now, right? And if we go across the river to Asari and then from Asari up, while I'll be able to help quite a bit with our transportation speed, we'd be at a 3-week disadvantage because it takes like a week to get across the bay.
It takes 2 days to get across the Celestine Bay.
Okay, so 2 days there, and then moving through that, we're still, I don't know, 800 miles behind the lady we're trying to catch. But if we come from the other direction, because eventually she's going to make it to that bridge over there, we're bound to run into her because it's 700 miles. It's shorter if we go from there. But
Yeah. So wait. Out on my.
Well, the only thing is, if we take the path, we might be able to pick up her trail.
yeah, that's a really good point.
Via
That's
the
a really good point.
road, so via the road from this city, heading east, via the road to Ravensblood is about 700 miles. It's 800 miles to Ravensblood from the ziggurat if you're flying, right? Otherwise, you have to like travel the 700 miles along the road
in like an L
and then
shape.
in
Yeah.
an L
That's why I
shape.
was hoping that Don would not be a dickhead and he would give us the little.
Well, we have enough money to probably buy some decent horses and stuff like
Yeah.
Well,
that.
so
Yeah,
we
she's
just need to
also
buy.
traveling on foot. That is something else. She's traveling on foot. If you guys had, pick up some
Yeah.
transportation, like some carts and
We
stuff.
just need to buy a. We need to buy a cart. Horses aren't a problem for us.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have like carts and some horses and stuff, you're also gonna need to get supplies and all that stuff. So we can take care of that like in the upcoming week here. But,
Alrighty. Well
it'll
then,
it'll be a little
let's
bit
figure out
more
what's in the box.
downtime. I know Vilmar was talking about needing to do some like research and stuff. So while you guys are prepping, like there's like some more downtime stuff that we can like finalize and that we get to during the week here. But when you get to Tails' room, there's a big box filled with stuff. I'm talking like, pretty like Tail could easily fit inside this box and use it as a fort. Like it's a pretty big box. And it's wrapped all nice. It's dark blue wrapping paper with gold orbs and half crescent moons and little stars all over it. And there's a little envelope on top of it with a wax seal, like a silvery wax seal on top that has the Wizards College logo on the wax seal. As you open, I assume you open the envelope. If not, let me know. But as you open the envelope, instead of there being like a note inside of it with like a letter, glitter just like kind of floats out of it, and it says, "Thank you for your assistance in apprehending Faith Loquan. The Wizards Guild has been informed that she had made a deal with you, and you are owed payment. After salvaging what we could from her tower, and taking any top secret wizard experiments that she was working on for us, we have decided that your payment will be the remainder of her worldly possessions. So you got a big box of stuff from the Wizard's Tower in your room here.
Dibs on the books.
Damn it.
Books.
It's in the box.
What?
Do we have a
Is it
list of
dick in
what's
the
in the box
box?
here?
What's in the box? Indeed, Faith Tower. There is a ring, shooting stars, pretty cool thing. A horse figurine, it's like a little figurine, like a little stone figurine of a horse. You have a strange potted plant, a broom, a bucket full of spent arcanite. You're kind of not sure why they'd give that to you. That's literally just a bucket of trash at this point. There's a literally okay. So just to remind you, this is like a box. It seems to be a box of holding, like a cardboard box of holding, because Quothe has to use his giant strength score to literally pull a wardrobe out of this box that should not be able to fit in this box, but it's like an actual wardrobe. Like like a closet, right? That you'd like keep clothes in. A wardrobe of changing. There's a small hand mirror. It's a magic mirror that you could use for the scrying spell, if you want. There's a map of Reneus Alinar. You see a hinged case of black onyx, a masterwork of gaming darts, If you want to play darts at a bar or something, they'll give you a +2 skill check bonus to anyone using them to play a game of darts. But they are useless in combat. They are not combat darts. They are literally only for winning games at a bar. There's another mirror, but this is like a standing mirror, with a frame made of pale ashwood. And whenever you look in it, you see an elven face instead of your own. It's like, what would you look like?
Ooh, we got a raid.
Oh, Wombat94, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. We're coming towards the end of our D&D session. I'm just handing out some cool treasure to everybody.
We got gifts.
You find a peg leg with a map carved into it. Like a treasure, like a pirate treasure map carved into a peg leg. A small heart-shaped token carved out of rose-colored sandstone. You have found 3 coins. They're coins of delving. And I don't know if I have the notes on that. Yeah, but basically the coin of delving it's a little coin that lights up, and you can like throw it into a hole to see how far the hole like goes down. So you got 3 of those. Just in case the hole's really long and you decide not to go down there, you still have a couple extras. You have a cloak of billowing. This is a gold glittery cape.
Dibs.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rowan's getting that one. As an action, you can make it billow like it was being blown by the wind.
Yep. That is what it does. There's a Lemanian oak focus. So that's basically a wand made out of a specific kind of wood. There's a small pouch of needles that seem to have like fine engraving on them, and they seem to give off a small reading of transmutation magic. But they almost look like old style tattooing needles.
Dibs. Hard dib.
You get a large pot of mood marking paint. You get a mysterious key. There's no label on it. It's just a key. You don't know what it goes to. There's a pipe of smoke monsters. A clay pot with arcane runes on it.
When you shake the pot, does it sound like there's liquid inside?
I'll have to get back to you on that. Don't have that in my other extra notes.
Okay.
I know it does something, and I have to look it up again.
I was thinking that's the clone spell right there.
Oh no, this is like a smaller clay pot, not big enough to be used with clone. You have a blank spell shard, which is basically a wizard's tome, but it is like a shard of arcanite that has been specifically treated to hold spells. Think of it like if you set it in front of a light source and rotate it specifically, it would project onto a wall like the spell kind of thing.
Oh, like those old pantomime things where
Yeah.
like cowboys and Indians, and then you spin it.
And then the last 2 items, there's a tankard of sobriety and a wand sheath. So that you get a whole bunch of that stuff. Since we were speaking of transportation, I will tell you this right off the bat. The horse figurine, because you guys have like detect magic spells and identify, I'm sure, and access to all that kind of stuff. The horse figurine, I'll tell you this, can turn into an actual horse.
Oh, that's cool.
So you do have a horse, and you can have other. I think like you have summoning spells and all that kind of stuff too to bring like. So you can, as long as you get some carts, you should be able to like pull them fairly easily.
Could have a Cavalier Lizard Wizard.
Maybe. Cavalier is a pretty good subclass too.
Boy, I have thought about it. Don't tempt me.
Yeah, I do have some extra notes on some of this stuff. But yeah, is there anything specific like right off the bat that you're like, oh, that sounds interesting? Let me like what want some more information about just immediately off the top, because I can
Is the oak focus like a blank wand right now, or is it just like a spell focus?
it is a and let me think it's an actual.
We can get it off stream. It's not a big deal. I got like 3 or 4 items I'm interested in the function of. I think that Reshi would super love the pipe of smoke monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does goofy things. I think you would enjoy it.
So the Lemanian Oak wand is cut from a tree infused with extraplanar energy. If you're a spellcaster, you can use this item as a spellcasting focus. When you cast a damage-dealing spell using this item, your spellcasting focus, you gain a +1 bonus to 1 lightning or thunder damage roll of the spell. So if you use that as your focus to it's just a little bonus, right? But if you were to like cast your lightning bolt spell with that, you'd get a +1 to damage. Or, thunder step or thunder wave or whatever. Lightning and thunder +1 damage is what that wand gives you. And you can use it as a wizard focus. The pipe of smoke monsters. No, you can basically beat out smoke monsters, I think. If I'm remembering correctly. Pipe of smoke monster. When smoking this pipe, you can use an action to exhale a puff of smoke that takes the form of a single creature, such as a dragon, a flump, or a frog hemoth. The form must be small enough to fit in a 1-foot cube, and it loses its shape after a few seconds, becoming an ordinary puff of smoke.
So I don't want to spoil anyone here. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you'll sometimes see bards with these pipes of smoke monsters as they tell stories. They're smoking their pipe, and when they like exhale the thing, it'll like turn into the creature that they're telling a story about, for a little bit.
What about the little heart-shaped token thing? Is that it?
Heart-shaped token.
Just a stone, or?
Are you gonna pick it up?
Sure.
So this is a little pink sandstone heart on a necklace. When you pick it up, you hear the voice of a woman basically pleading for you to release her. She's like, "Oh, someone's holding, help! Release me! I've been stuck in here for I don't know how long, but I've been stuck in this amulet. You gotta find a way to release me." You also know, because you have magic detecting, all that kind of stuff. You know this. If a magic user has this and you are a magic user, you can use this item to replenish all of your spell slots on a short rest, with the caveat that it tortures the lady who's stuck inside of it.
Yeah, nice. Poor lady.
Yeah. So if you can withstand this lady like screaming in pain and constantly asking you to be released, you could go totally balls to the wall and run through all of your spell slots and get them back on a short rest. Depends on, how good you want to be, I guess.
Can you actually free the woman too?
Yeah, I don't. It's nothing in my notes that says you can't. Also, it doesn't say if you can. I'll leave that up to you to decide how you want to try and do it, and then I'll say if that seems like it will work or not.
All right.
I will say this: I don't think smashing it with a hammer will do anything. Mostly because it's
Yeah.
a magic item, and you can't like destroy magic items that way.
I figured it'd probably take more than smashing it. Or
Wouldn't that
reduce
be
whatever.
funny though? It's like it's like that amulet that Robin gets in Robin Hood Men in Tights that has the key to Maid Marian's chastity belt, and all it needs to do is slightly graze a stone surface and it just shatters. But yeah, is anything else? Last call. Before we wind down our show for tonight.
I'll take a look offline. I'm not too worried about
Yeah.
dragon
fair
and all that
Indeed.
shit.
Yep.
Fair enough.
What does
All
the Ring
right.
of Shooting Stars do?
The Ring of Shooting Stars. That is a pretty cool one. So while wearing this ring in dim light or darkness, you can cast dancing lights and the light. Dancing lights and light from the ring at will. Those are cantrips, so that makes sense. And they still take an action as well to cast. But the ring also has 6 charges for the following other properties. The ring regains 1d6 expended charges daily at dawn. You can cast Fairy Fire for 1 charge. So that's a cool spell. A ball of lightning, you can expend 2 charges as an action to create 1 to 4 3-foot diameter spheres of lightning. The more spheres you create, the less powerful each sphere is individually. Let's see. Each sphere appears in unoccupied space. Each sphere sheds dim light in a 30-foot radius, and as a bonus action, you can move each sphere up to 30 feet. But no further than 20 feet away from you. Where's the damage stuff? Creature must make a DC 15 dexterity save. On a failed save, the creature takes lightning damage based on the number of spheres you created. 4 spheres. Each sphere does 2d4. With 3 spheres, it does 2d6. With 2 spheres, it's 5d4. And at 1 sphere, it is 4d12 lightning damage.
That's
We're
really
slapping that
powerful.
out of his hands.
So if someone gets the ring out of his hands, what you said?
Slap it out of his hand. Just no. Drop it on the floor. No.
And then then there's the Shooting Stars effect. This is the last effect. With Shooting Stars, you can expend 1 to 3 charges as an action. For every charge you expend, you launch a glowing mote of light from the ring at a point you can see within 60 feet. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from that point is showered in sparks and must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, taking 5d4 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful save.
Looks like I got a new ring since nobody wanted it.
We'll talk about what we get. out of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
here.
Oh, really?
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see how
All
it
of a
is.
sudden, let's
Whoa,
talk
whoa,
about
whoa,
this
whoa,
later.
I don't want the
Everyone
ring
roll
of
for
shooting
initiative.
stars. I'm already a pocket nuke. I'm literally a pocket-sized nuke at this point in our freaking game, guys. Just throw Tail in the room and hope it doesn't blow up.
Not gonna lie, I do think I would have fun if Quothe had that ring.
I know you would. I know you would.
Jesus.
All right, guys. We'll talk about the rest of this crazy stuff during the week. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Remember tonight, join in our Discord here. We're gonna be watching Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls in the Discord after tonight's show. I was talking
I'm
about
sorry
it
there was no fights tonight, guys.
with
I think this is the better way to do it, though. Let's just
We'll kill them next week. It's fine.
Yeah. We're gonna kill.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we gotta find.
Next week. Next week. Yeah.
something like that.
But yeah, hop in the Discord. We're gonna get in the general chat here. After the show, I'm gonna use the bathroom, get a drink, make some popcorn, all that stuff. But we'll be starting the movie up pretty soon. Gonna see if there's anybody to raid for those of us not interested in a double feature Ace Ventura movie. Let's see. Lich is not live yet because we're ending a little bit early. But Turkey of the Grouch Couch is live. He's doing some music stuff. So we're gonna go over there. I think. Say hi. To old Turkey from the Grouch Couch. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. We're gonna roll the credits here. We're gonna raid into Turkey. Hit that Discord link if you want to watch Ace Ventura here. And maybe like 20-ish minutes. Give me time to go get a drink and make some popcorn. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week, probably with some cool new magic items, and we'll be hopefully on our way to finding Amriel and learning more about what the heck is going on in the world of the Osrynn Tales. They say through critical hits and critical fails, these are the Osrynn Tales. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.